Jayne Jones, thank you so much for waking up with us this morning. The No Sugar Baker. I'm so excited for this segment. As a fellow baker myself, I never would have thought to try like sugar substitutes, but you had a good reason for needing to do that. Could you talk a little bit about that?
I'm not sure it's a good reason, but it was a reason. So here's what happens. I thought I had the flu, fought it tooth and nail for about 2 weeks. Finally, my husband dragged me to the emergency room where I'm embarrassed to tell you my blood pressure was like 289 over 189. My glucose level was close to 600. You want to be batting about 100. So no one ever mentioned the D word to me before, diabetic. Well, like you, David, I love being in the kitchen. So the ER physician told me these magical words. She said, for the rest of your life, you need to eat lean meats and salads. Well, that kind of hits you right in the heart and right in the gut, right? So basically, I had to figure out, for the first 3 months, here's what happened. I went all completely sugar-free, insulin-free, medicine-free. I'd lost 60 pounds. And that vision that I lost when the eyesight went from about 60 back down to 100, is now 2020 again. So I had to figure out a way to get myself back into my kitchen because I love my kitchen, but at the same time, I also resented it because how in the world would a chocolate chip cookie taste good without sugar? So here's what happened. So by the act of God, I was walking through the grocery store and I'm like, you know what? I need an answer. I need to figure something out. So basically I found a product called Swerve. I've never heard of it before. It's actually pretty popular. It's an all natural root vegetable sweetener that has equal measurements to sugar. So I made something, brought it over to my parents, and they started to cry. And I'm like, what just happened? Like, is it really that bad? And they said, no. We've been waiting for this day for you to get that energy and that spirit back to want to be back in the kitchen and just do it in a healthy way. Our daughter came home from college during COVID and she was like, hey, I started posting pictures on my personal Facebook page. And she's like, people really like what you're doing. You're kind of like America's No Sugar Baker. I'm like, well, that's got a cute little funky ring to it. So we started a Facebook page about a year ago. We have about 110,000 followers already. I hear from thousands of people every week. And I started posting more and more recipes, about 3 recipes a week. And you know what? It's really important because 10% of our population is diabetic or pre-diabetic, and there's a ton of bakers out there that are keto, right? Well, just because you're keto doesn't mean you can't have any treats too. So today we got a great morning recipe for you, especially with fall. Fall's like my favorite time to bake. We have the No Sugar Baker chocolate pumpkin bread. Pumpkin's a friend of the diabetic.
You know, the holidays are right around the corner. People are going to be firing up those ovens again. I know that it's still warm out right now, but people are like itching to get back in there and make some things. So walk us through how we do this.
Yeah, you know, I had to learn a lot, right? I had to learn a lot. So you're gonna grab and spray, first trip at the trade, your loaf pan. And then in this bowl, I already have one 15-ounce can of pumpkin, a couple of eggs, a whole stick of butter. Here's what I learned, friends. Margarine has sugar, right? So we really want to go to those whole ingredients. I also use heavy cream versus milk because milk has sugar. So you have to really read a lot of labels. I also have 1 cup of Swerve's Brown, which is their all natural sweetener that is supposed to resemble brown sugar. I absolutely love it, along with, and this is one of my other tricks of the trade, I use whatever amount of vanilla you want to use, because every once in a while, that actually kind of cover up a little bit of that artificial flavors that you might get. So you're gonna go ahead and mix that together. Now, pumpkin is actually really good for the diabetic. It actually helps to control those glucose levels. And I like it because there's not too many fruits or vegetables out there that are actually low in all natural sugar, and pumpkin happens to be. And you know what? Hey, it's the flavor of the season. Now, you're gonna mix that just enough to get it blended. And then over here, I already have this whipped together too. It's a sugar-free cocoa, a dark chocolate is what you want to use, along with about 1 cup of flour. Now, let me give you some advice. I never knew about all the different types of flours that were out there until I got sick and was in that grocery store myself trying to figure out what in the world am I going to do, right? So you have your choice. You can use an almond flour, a coconut flour, which doesn't happen to be my favorite because I think it gives a little bit too much flavor of coconut, or a high protein flour. Here's what you need to know. When you use one of those though, it doesn't rise as nicely as the other flours do. So I do cheat on this one and do use it all purpose because it's only 1 cup for the entire loaf. So when you actually fraction it out, it does keep you to the carbohydrate level you need to keep to. My body is less than 20 carbohydrates a day, which isn't very much. Also baking soda, and then pumpkin pie spice, fantastic. I'm gonna go ahead and pour that right in. So you're gonna put in about 1.5 cups of chocolate chips. And again, you don't want to over mix. Okay? I think that's really key. And you know what the best part of this one is when you bake it? The smell in your kitchen, it screams, oh my gosh, pumpkin bread is on the horizon. So make sure you spray your pan. I actually did, if you see this right in front of you, I did a mini one. So I'm gonna give it to our neighbors, kind of a cute. So it's two loaves divided into one. Put it into your pan, bake it at 350 for about an hour is what you want to do.